Welcome to one of the first steps in becoming a Bethel University student. You're about to embark on one of the most important and exciting points in your life that will help you reach your dreams and your goals and help you become the person that God has called you to be. The pre-registration form that I'm introducing to you today is actually very simple, but it's also very important as we work together to help create your initial academic plan and to begin to create your schedule for the fall semester. Although it would be perfect if we could build your fall schedule where you were in every class that you wanted, as with all universities, we only have so many seats and we only have so many available classes. But the nice thing about Bethel is that every class that you're going to take in your initial fall schedule is going to be something that counts towards a graduation requirement. In addition, all of our professors are outstanding faculty who care deeply about you and your success. Beginning with that first time you meet them in the classroom, all the way to the moment when they're standing as you walk across the graduation stage to receive your degree. As you can see from the fact that your name already appears on this form, in a sense, we already know you. You are not and never will be just a number at Bethel University. In fact, one of the purposes for taking the time to reflectively and accurately fill out this pre-registration form is to help us connect you with offices, services, and departments that you might need and that will help you succeed. So this pre-registration form is going to ask you to tell us about some of your experiences and your areas of interest. Let's start by identifying the number of credits that you want to take in your first semester. Please note that the number of credits corresponds roughly to the number of hours that you'll be in class each week. A normal credit load for a first semester is between 14 and 15 credits. Some students will do more, some students will do less. But it's worth knowing that every credit means about 2 to 3 hours outside of class studying. It's really up to you to decide how many credits you want to take. But it's worth noting that you need at least 12 credits to be considered a full-time student. But again, your course load is really up to you. Bethel offers many opportunities for students to be involved in curricular and co-curricular activities such as sports, music, theater, and forensics. These are great ways to use and develop the gifts that God has given you. But they also affect the times when you can be scheduled for classes and the number of credits you might want to consider taking. Please let us know your plans for the fall semester and we'll put that into consideration as we build your initial schedule. One of the primary reasons for going to college is to help yourself prepare to pursue your visions and dreams and to prepare yourself for your career, vocation, and calling. Because of this, we need to know what areas you're considering majoring and minoring in. Please note that it's perfectly okay if you don't know what you want to major or minor in. Studies show that most students change their major multiple times before graduation. That's what college is all about, trying to find what are your areas of strengths and interest. And realistically, the only way to do that is to try different courses in different areas and different fields of study. You usually know whether an area of study is right for you by the time you complete that first class in that field. This is why taking a class just for fun or just to figure out if that's where your passions lie is really a good idea. Your general education courses will get you lots of experiences in different areas of study, but we'll talk a bit more about that later. So, what majors and minors are you thinking about? We'll try to build your fall schedule around those areas of interest that you indicate. If you really have no idea what you want to study, please indicate, no, I'm an undecided major. If there is a major you're interested in, please choose it from the drop-down menu. Then indicate to us how sure you are about that major. Maybe you're interested in exploring 2 majors or considering a double major. If so, click yes, and then select the second major from the drop-down menu and tell us how sure you are about selecting that major. Remember, just because you select a major or 2 now doesn't mean that you're committed to that forever. This is a time for you to explore. What do you want to do? What are you interested in? Many students also do a minor, but you don't have to start your minor in the first semester. If you'd like to explore a minor, click yes and select the minor from the list. Are you considering going on to a professional education like medical school, law school, or physical therapy school? If so, click yes and select the type of preparation you'd like to pursue at Bethel. There are many routes to achieving these goals, and students from almost every major at Bethel have gone on to pursue medical school, law school, seminary, or other similar graduate programs. We have great faculty advisors and an Office of Career Development and Calling that can help you with information about graduate programs as well as other professional educational opportunities. But for now, just tell us what you're interested in, and again, you're not committing to anything. So how does Bethel make sure you're prepared for all the different things you'll want to do in your life? It's called the General Education Program, or Gen Ed for short. And not only that, we think we have one of the strongest and most integrated general education programs available. So what is Gen Ed? Probably the best way to think about it is that this is the way that Bethel equips all of its students to think critically, to engage in a diverse and global world, to work together as a team, and to express thoughts and ideas and passions. In short, this is how Bethel prepares you to be the type of person that employers are looking for and our global society needs. When you graduate, having completed the general education curriculum, you'll not only have a clearer understanding of who you are, but you'll have grown into a mature and educated individual who has a clear sense of what they believe, why they believe it, and the ability to communicate those ideas to the world around you. One of the areas that all Bethel students study is Bible and theology. Many students use elective credits to take additional courses in Bible and theology as well. The number of credits that you're transferring into Bethel will determine the number of Bible courses that you're required to take. It's also helpful for us to know a little bit about your Bible background, so please select the statement which best describes you from the drop-down menu. This is also the place to tell us whether you'll be a Paseo student during your first year at Bethel, since we'll have to wait to put you into Bible courses until after your Paseo year. The next section is about 2 different ways to complete some of your first and second year Gen Ed courses. The first is called Quilt, and the other is the Humanities program. At Bethel, we understand that students are unique in their strengths, their interests, and their ways of learning. We want to make sure that you're engaged in a way of learning that's best for you. Some students might feel confused about which option to choose, but no need to panic. Let me give you a nutshell definition of each of these options. Quilt is an acronym for the 5 courses you will be taking to complete this option. C is for Christianity and Western Culture, or CWC. W is for writing, college writing. I is for Introduction to the Creative Arts. L is for our L course, which focuses on contemporary life and Western thought. And T is for your theology course. So a quick overview of what you will do in the Quilt option. You'll take 5 classes, 3 in your first year, 2 in your second year, in a flexible order and in focused areas of study. The courses you'll take in your first year are Christianity and Western Culture, college writing, and Introduction to the Creative Arts. And in your second year, Christian theology, and your L course. The Humanity program covers these same areas of study, but instead of taking 5 separate courses in 5 different areas of study, you take 4 courses where all those areas are integrated together. So for example, in Quilt, you take a separate course on the history of Western civilization and on the arts. While in Humanities, those 2 topics are integrated together along with theology and writing. In the Humanities program, you'll take one of these integrated courses in your first fall, interim, and spring, and then the final course in the fall of your second year. Some students who are transferring in a course like college writing may wonder whether there's one program that they should take over the other. Maybe it helps to think about it this way. If you're this type of student and you take the Quilt option, instead of 5 classes, you'll take 4. If you take the Humanities option, you'll also take 4 classes. The important thing is that you pick a program that's the best fit for how you learn. In the Quilt option, you'll likely take more tests and more quizzes. While in the Humanities program, there's more of a focus on reading full texts and writing papers throughout the semester. Both programs feature off-campus visits to museums and concerts and theater, and both are taught by wonderful and passionate faculty. Both are programs that students have taken and loved during their time at Bethel. So take a moment and consider both options and let us know which you think is the best program for you. Also indicate to us how strongly you feel about that choice. We want to make sure your first semester gets off to a great start. One of the ways we do this is through a course called Introduction to the Liberal Arts, or ILA for short. In this half-semester course, we discuss some big questions that you're going to face during your time at Bethel. Like, what does it mean to be part of a Christian learning community? What does it mean to study the liberal arts? What are some of your short and long-term goals? And what are things you can do to achieve those goals? But you also learn some practical things like how to best manage your time and how to prepare to register for upcoming semesters. Some of these sections of ILA are targeted at students in certain majors or with certain areas of interest. Well, we think this course is a great idea for all students in their first year. Unless you're a Paseo student in your first year, you have the option of whether or not you want to take ILA if you are bringing in 14 or more transfer credits. Are you a transfer student? Well, Bethel has a special course set up for you, Introduction to Life at Bethel. This is a great way to connect with other transfers, to connect with the Bethel community, and to learn about some of the unique support services that Bethel offers. Regardless, you'll have to make a choice as to whether you'll take Introduction to Liberal Arts or Introduction to Life at Bethel. So click on the drop-down menu and choose the option which best fits you. So at this point, we've already talked about some of the courses that you'll take as part of your Gen Ed requirements: Bible and Theology, Quilter Humanities, Introduction to Liberal Arts, and Introduction to Life at Bethel. But there's one other group of Gen Ed that we haven't talked about yet, and that is Gen Ed course categories. Gen Ed categories are made up of all kinds of different courses that share similar goals and outcomes, but may cover very different subjects. We have these categories so that you can explore different ways of looking at the world and approaching a problem. So it's possible to fulfill a Gen Ed category by taking a course in many different fields, be it English, Communication Studies, Psychology, or Theater. This is also a great way to explore other majors that you might be interested in. Each of these categories has a descriptive name like Nature of Persons or World Cultures, and you'll notice that each category also has a letter associated with it. On the academic registration information form, we've listed all of the Gen Ed categories of courses you might take in your first semester. Please indicate your preferences for the topics within each category. We'll look at the courses you're transferring in, your major, and your areas of interest, and use that to try to build a schedule that will get you off to a great start. When you get to the second language category, please indicate the language you would like to study at Bethel. Then tell us whether you've studied this language before. If you have, indicate the number of years you've studied this language at high school and estimate the grades you received. This will help us to place you into the appropriate level of study within that language. Once you've completed the language questions, move on to identify topics for a few more Gen Ed categories. This will give us the information we know to build a schedule that's the best fit for your interests. Along with the Gen Ed curriculum that allows you to expand your horizons and study and think in new areas, you can also explore other fields by taking elective credits. We've listed a few areas of electives, so let us know what interests you. Many of you are bringing in different types and numbers of credits that you've worked very hard to earn over the past few years, and we want to make sure you receive credit for these. Filling out this portion of the form as accurately as possible is very important, not only for your class placement options in your first semester at Bethel, but also for making sure you receive transfer credit for those classes. Regarding advanced placement or AP exams, please go through this list carefully and select all exams that you have or will be taking. Many students also take CLEP exams to earn college credit. If you've done this, please list all of your CLEP exams here. Are you in an international baccalaureate program? If so, please list your programs here. Will you be transferring credits into Bethel from another college or university? Please make sure to submit official final college transcripts for all courses you've taken. Whether you've taken courses as a Paseo student or done college in the schools, we need to know about all of these courses, and we can't stress enough the importance of having official college transcripts sent to Bethel as soon as possible. Regardless of what students might think, colleges and universities do not automatically send transcripts to Bethel, and Bethel cannot directly request them because of privacy issues. You need to be the one to request them from each college or university that you've completed courses at. Simply contact the registrar's office of every college at which you've taken classes, and they should have forms for you to fill out to request transcripts. You shouldn't even have to leave home to do this. Most colleges and universities have a request transcript link from their registrar's office website. If you are currently enrolled in a college class which is not yet completed, please fill in the name of the university, and then, once the course is completed, make sure that official college transcripts are sent to Bethel University. Because we want to make sure that all of your transfer credits are identified, please fill in the name of the university at which you're taking classes. Then list all of the classes that you're currently taking. And finally, tell us the total number of credits that you plan on transferring into Bethel. This includes AP, CLEP, and any credits that you've earned from other colleges and universities. This next part of the form is very simple and straightforward. Please tell us if English is the primary language spoken in your home. Also let us know if you received any special support services in high school or any disability accommodations in any school. These two basic questions will help us to connect you to services that can put you on the path towards achieving your goals and visions for the future. Thank you for taking the time to learn about the Academic Registration and Information Form. Remember, this form is really important for us as we're learning about you so we can build the best schedule for you for your first semester at Bethel.